and welcome to Cruise Control Motoring, your on-air automotive magazine. It's that time again to roll out and check out what's going on in the auto industry. New reveals, new developments, and it's all here. And with me, as normal, is Les Jackson. Les, how you doing?
Hey Fred, perfect. I haven't won any medals in the Olympics.
Okay.
As you might have assumed that already. But I have won medals about knowing things about the car industry, so that's helpful.
I think that's very helpful, especially since that's what people are expecting from us. So
That's right.
We're going to start this hour with taking the Highland. So Toyota has revealed its all-electric three-row SUV. It's the fourth battery-powered vehicle in their lineup, and we'll kick it around. It's an interesting vehicle, and I will tease this. Another manufacturer that's previously worked with Toyota is going to have their version of this vehicle too. So we'll talk about that.
Which is a good thing. And what's not a good thing is a profit hit. Honda's profits are down. You ready for this? 61%.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll tell you
get called
what's
in
going on.
on the carpet for that one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A little explaining. And then Jeep says it's going to keep selling its Recon. That is their battery-powered off-roader. Even if only a few people buy it, they're not canceling it. So
Okay.
Go figure, right?
Well, they just have a lot to sell, I guess. And Nissan prices its Rogue Plug-In, and Subaru has a good deal on its Forester Hybrid.
Yeah, that's good news. And then Mercedes unwraps its AMG GLC 53 with a screaming straight six. We'll talk about it.
I'll bet you it'll go 0 to 60 faster than you pronounced the model.
That's true. That's true.
And here's a bad news, at least to me. Why are dealers selling more cars with salvage titles?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
salvage
don't do
titles,
that.
flood damaged, accidents. We'll talk about it. It's kind of an industry trend. And Jeremy Clarkson weighs in on the new Grand Tour team. He released a very funny video of him looking at their CVs, or as we would say, resumes. And and it was very funny. But three new people have been selected, and we will tell you who they are. And, hey, kick it around. Can other people do the Grand Tour? It has not worked out great in the past for Top Gear, has it?
Yep. I every time they've done the same show with different people, it hasn't worked out well.
No.
We'll
But
see.
we'll
We'll see.
see. We'll see.
Well, Fred, the Highlander has been reimagined for 2027. It's all new, they say, head-turning style. That's what they say. I think it's pretty cool looking.
Yep.
Elevated comfort. We haven't been in it yet, but I'm sure it is. And all electric
Yeah.
powertrain. Just when everybody else is kind of cutting back, Toyota is saying no. We're just going to keep it up.
Well, yeah, it's interesting, Les. Great looking vehicle, by the way. This is their fourth battery electric vehicle in their lineup. Remember, there was a time when people were saying, oh, Toyota should be doing more electric vehicles and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Now, they are, but kind of maybe that train has at least temporarily left the station.
Yeah, I think so. But, of course,
These
they
were in
are selling.
development, so they're not going to throw them away and say, hey,
Well,
they
that's
spent
right.
money on them.
And
Uh,
they have a world market. They're not just selling here.
yeah, but
So I don't know.
mandates for electric vehicles are dropping everywhere. So this will be assembled in the U.S. at the Toyota Motor Manufacturing Plant, and it's a good-looking vehicle. It has a lot of vehicle to load technology, which means it can power your house, which could be good with the weather we've been having lately. There are going to be two grades, limited or XLE, with an available front or all wheel drive type setup. Um, Three-row SUV with seating for up to seven, over 45 cubic feet of rear storage, equipped with the latest Toyota audio, multimedia, and safety sense systems. I love the two-tone on it. How about you?
Well, yes, I would like to ride in this. I'm sure it's extremely comfortable. It has 338 horsepower, combined system horsepower.
Is that all-wheel
Uh,
drive? That is that the all-wheel drive model? I believe it is.
that would be the all-wheel drive because it would have motors at both ends.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, I mean, now of course they have their battery factory uh, in the U.S. So one of the reasons that they are doing all this is to support the battery manufacturing factory in Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, I think it's a great long-term business plan. Maybe they won't make a heck of a lot of money up front, but Toyota always seems to do the right thing.
Yeah. Once again, this is a vehicle. Would they bring this out if they were starting clean today? Would they bring this out and develop it? I'm not so sure. I don't know, but it was the money was laid down, the design was laid down, and this, as you know, all too well, these vehicles are planned out well in advance,
Oh
and
yeah.
they're not going to just throw it away and say, "Oh well, we'll just not do that." Um, if you're buying an electric vehicle, buying it from Toyota is probably not a bad deal. This one, as you mentioned, the big news, the big headline is batteries made here in the U.S., and also the vehicle is assembled in the U.S. So that's going to be key. So it's not going to have any sort of tariff issue or anything like that. Um, you look at things like the Kia EV9. How well has that done? Is there more of a market for this type of vehicle? I always liked the Highlander because I thought it was a interesting sort of almost high wagon in some of its older versions, and most recently.
Yeah,
Um,
well, it's a great looking Highlander. You got to give it that.
yeah.
Um, by the way, I, I've been thinking. I mean, I'm always talking about automotive plants costing $3, 4, $5 billion to build. Uh, the battery plant costs $13.9 billion.
Oh man. Oh man. That is
Wow.
that's real money, man.
That's yeah, we're talking some real money here. But let's see if we can find a price on this.
I'm not sure we have pricing
We
on it.
probably don't,
I
but
can give you range on it. The XLE front wheel drive has a 77 kilowatt hour battery. That's got 287-mile range. The XLE all wheel drive has a 270-mile range. The XLE
okay,
all wheel drive with the 95.8 kilowatt hour battery gets 320 miles of range, and the limited all wheel drive with the 95.8 kilowatt hour battery has got an estimated range of 320. Somehow 320 makes me feel better than 270. How about you?
it's funny. I was thinking the same thing, and yet they're only 50 miles apart. Um, but you just feel more comfortable knowing you have a tank, either
Sure.
gas or electricity, to take you 300 plus miles. And it charges, they say, from 10% to 80% battery capacity in 30 minutes, which, okay, so you're taking a 600-mile trip, you stop at the whatever in the middle of the trip and have lunch, and it charges up because you'll spend a half hour, in the restaurant and in the restrooms and all that.
Hopefully, you don't spend a half hour in the restroom.
Yeah,
That would be a problem.
that's right. Yeah, and that's assuming you're on an interstate, so you have a level 3 charging station
Right.
that's working. Um, this is all being fixed and worked on. The infrastructure is in its infancy, or at least its adolescent stage, I guess would be a better word.
Yeah.
No, this is. It sure looks really comfortable.
Well, there's a lot of attention to detail. You take a look at the interior, the detail in the stitching, even in the panels for the third row seat. The one we're looking at has captain's chairs in the second row, and then a traditional bench in the third. There's nicely integrated USB ports. I mean, Toyota does a wonderful job, and they haven't just plastered a big touchscreen as the only control surface for the vehicle. There are also, electronically projected gauges, but Toyota has done a wonderful job with this. It is a quality piece.
They have.
It remains to be seen if it will sell, though. It's hard to predict now. We're at a strange point in the automotive industry where we were told that these would be the normal vehicles. This would be it, but it doesn't seem that way. But it's great to see this vehicle come out. It's a quality electric vehicle. It really is.
Yes. I do have some preliminary information,
Okay.
and that is that Toyota's people say that in order to compete with the Kia EV9, they're going to price the base unit at 55,000.
Okay. That's not.
That sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah, that is not unheard of for a three-row SUV.
Yeah,
So,
interesting.
yeah, and their press release does talk about how, people love to drive electric vehicles because of the instant response and all that. This is a 2027 model, by the way.
Yeah.
Um, it's interesting. Um, 338 horsepower, 323 pound-feet of torque. Here's the thing. That is, we've seen some astronomical numbers that were kind of crazy. Maybe they've decided like, hey, we'll make it powerful, but it's not going to be, 650, 850 horsepower.
No,
That's
so, but
perfectly good for that vehicle, right?
It's the torque. It's the torque, and it's pure torque.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, that's a whole lot different than 338 gasoline horsepower.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think? Do you think they talk about vehicle to load technology, basically using your electric vehicle as a backup power source? I have a couple of thoughts on that.
Well,
That means, now if I run out of food, my vehicle's not charged, so
well,
I can't go down and get, the gallon of milk and some loaf of bread.
that's true. Now, the fact I have long been a proponent of every electric vehicle having a plug-in to your house backup generator capability, and I'm sure ultimately that'll be the case. Obviously, well, first of all, your car, typical 2000s 2500 square foot house, your battery electric car could operate 3 of them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I
So
mean,
we're
honestly,
not talking about running one light bulb. We're
oh
talking
no,
about
you're
really.
you're running everything, central air. You're running even at max out, you're running maybe 15 kilowatts.
Okay.
You have a lot of kilowatts in your electric vehicle. So when you get down to 15% or so, you need to stop and go somewhere and recharge it.
Right. Exactly. That is exactly right. And you also need to make the investment to do this easily, to plug into your house,
Yes,
and have the switchover gear and things like that. So, I mean, that's something I'm sure they will help you with, or at least have a list
absolutely.
of suppliers for that. But hey, we want to ask you, what do you think? Good idea bringing out an all electric Highlander. It was certainly in the works for a while. Things have changed a bit. We're going to talk about some other manufacturers kind of losing their shirt, going off grid because of electric vehicles. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. And talking about that story, Les, Honda. Honda has lost a lot of money
Mm,
on
mm,
electric
mm.
vehicles, and it is their profits, their third quarter profits slumped over 60%, and this is primarily due to EV restructuring. What do you think about this? This is
Well,
a big news.
you have to, when you've invested this kind of money and it's not paying for itself at the rate you expected it to pay,
Mm-hmm.
and Chinese competition, this is worldwide, um, and all of that, and your sales drop 61%, you have to do some pretty dramatic things to bring yourself back. So, what do you do? Um, well, you could fire people, you can close factories,
Cut
all
your
that
lineup.
stuff.
Cut slow selling models.
Check the lineup. Anything that isn't selling to your business plan, stop making it.
Well,
And
they did that with the Acura electric version of
right,
their vehicle, which was great. I remember reviewing it and thinking, hey, this is really a sporty vehicle. But they said, hey, it's not
yeah,
selling, chop it.
but they just can't seem to compete well with the Chinese EVs. They're lagging behind those companies. I don't know the names of the models, so I won't even try. And it's I don't know. This could be a sign about the whole industry.
Well, and Canada, I believe, is opening up its markets now to Chinese manufacturers, auto manufacturers. So you wonder, they cannot make these things. Most of those Chinese manufacturers have the backing of the Chinese government behind them, so they can make
Absolutely.
them cheap and fast and disposable, and also, of course, they have all the fixins for batteries right there in their country.
Everything. Yeah, the Chinese have been building battery factories for years.
Rare
They,
earth, they have.
as you said, the government backs you up, so you don't have to have quarterly profits. What China wants to do is flood the market.
Right, right.
And while it could be difficult to flood the market here, they are flooding the market in Europe,
Absolutely. I would
uh,
see it a
big
few
time,
full
big time.
in London, walking around London. I would say, "What is that?" And it would be like
Yeah,
another Chinese vehicle. They have the MG brand. They bought their Chinese vehicles,
yeah,
and they're everywhere. That and minis, but we understand why the
yeah.
minis there. But I don't know. I don't know if this is an inflection point for the industry. I mean, they spent so much on developing electric vehicles. Those mandates are going away, but what do? You definitely need a platform that can be anything and can change on a dime. Hey,
Yeah,
and when it gets warmer, electric vehicles are going to be popular. But when people buy cars in the winter, oh, hey, I'm worried about range, reduce range because it's cold.
mm,
Okay, we'll put a hybrid gas powered drivetrain in there. build it. Every vehicle should be built on one platform. This is what
Yep.
the Chinese are doing. There's one company that's going to build like 50 different vehicles on one platform, the pancake, as they call it.
Well, yes, I question what the durability of these vehicles is,
Yeah,
but I don't know. The good
they may
news,
not. They may not be 100,000-mile vehicles. They may be,
they may not.
you use
Um,
it for a couple of years and you throw it away, which would be beautiful with all that waste and plastic
would
and
just be,
batteries and everything
yeah,
else, wouldn't it? That would
that'd be
really be
lovely.
great.
Now there is good news for Honda, and that is their motorcycle business is doing great,
Wow. Okay.
and that's highly profitable. So good for you. I mean, and we shouldn't even mention it because the Chinese probably will build some motorcycles too. But
I believe they do. I think you can buy one for like $200 on
oh,
Amazon.
I saw a Chinese motor scooter at a Vespa dealer here
Mm-hmm.
about a year ago. Wow, I mean, you can just see how cheap, cheaply constructed it is.
But
You
it's
can just tell.
yeah,
Uh, Very flimsy parts and but cheap. But
it's not
boy,
good. It's good enough.
it's good enough, and they're selling them. Against a Vespa, which is maybe $3,500. They're selling these things for 900.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really crazy. But what can you do? Yeah, it's what do
What can you
manufacturers
do?
do? I mean, I think in the case of this Highlander, it was in production already, and you don't want to stop it. But another interesting factor on this involves Subaru. Subaru is going to have their own version of this. Of course, they have
Hmm.
competed or worked, I shouldn't say competed with, worked with Toyota in the past, and they're going to continue to do this. This will be a three-row electric SUV for Subaru. We don't have a name for it, but of course they've done this with the Solterra previously. They now have the Trail Seeker.
Yep.
Um, and they would have whatever this is called, their version of the Highlander. So uh, that will sell a few more vehicles, right?
It will definitely sell some more vehicles. Subaru has done a great job with these sorts of things for years, and it adds their lineup. That they're one-stop shop.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it remains to be seen if they will have. I'm not so sure I know about this on the Highlander, if there is a mechanical connection. Uh, I would imagine it's just electric motors in the back for all-wheel drive. But Subaru prides itself on having that symmetrical all-wheel drive with drive shafts going to the
True.
back. So will they have their version have that? We don't know yet. It's early days on that. But so, Les, we told you about the Jeep Recon a number of months ago on cruise control motoring. That is the tough as nails, trail rated, all electric Jeep, the first of its kind. And some of our viewers and listeners they were like, that's a dumb idea. Others liked it. It has removable doors and things like that. And you and I wondered, would this thing sell? It's going to be fairly expensive, and would they
Yeah.
continue making it? Well, now, according to CEO Bob Broderdorf, Jeep is going to sell it even. The quote is, even if it doesn't sell well, we're going to keep selling it. Um,
Okay.
they believe in it, but is that a good idea? I don't know.
Well, I think again, this is one of these things where you're making them. You've invested a whole lot more money than I
Sure,
thought
right?
into it, and you figure, well, look, let's just keep selling it. Give it another year. It's been a very iffy, a very strange year in 2025, worldwide. So let's just say we're going to keep selling it. But you also know, and we've uh, I think we've even talked to Bob Broderdorf before, um, that eventually they say, okay, well, we're not likely to make any more money, so we're going to stop making it.
And here's the thing, this hasn't even officially launched yet. It's going to launch this summer, summer of
Right,
2026.
right.
Um, it's a 650 horsepower machine, dual motor, 66,995. That's the starting price, but it's going to be a lot more expensive than that.
Boy, boy, oh boy.
Um, once again, just going back to the Highlander, the highlighter, the Highlander.
Yes.
Um, you know, uh, Maybe all that horsepower isn't necessary. Maybe that's overkill in electric vehicles. Cut the cost and make it a 400 horsepower machine. What
That's
do you think?
still
That
plenty.
that's plenty.
Yeah.
Maybe don't get into an electric vehicle horsepower war. I don't know, but it hasn't even launched yet, and that's a bad sign. If he's being asked, "Will you will you keep
That's a
making it?"
very bad.
Well, we
It's a
haven't
very
even
bad,
made it yet.
very bad sign. Reminds me of the retro Thunderbird in the early
Oh yeah,
2000s. It just
yes,
sat on the coming soon for what, like 2.5 years.
right.
So it was a nice car.
It was a nice car, and especially got better in the I guess you would call it a second generation of it, where they did
Second
away
generation, yeah,
with cowl shake. Because the first one, the cowl shake was, you
yeah,
lost
but
your vision. It was so much vibration.
that's right.
It's like,
So
are the front and back half of this vehicle attached in any way?
that's right. It did have a little cowl shake.
Well, what do you think? Should they build this Recon? Go ahead and build it. I think they're going to do it anyway, but
Hmm.
at 66,995, the $7,500 discount has gone away.
Yeah,
I just don't. I don't know. I really don't know how it will do, and we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But meanwhile, we have some pricing information on a vehicle from the folks over at Nissan. It is the Rogue Plug-In. Of course, there's another Rogue that looks kind of nothing like this. This is based on the Mitsubishi plug-in SUV. Now we have pricing for the Nissan Rogue plug-in, and it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more than the Mitsubishi version. The Rogue plug-in hybrid SL all-wheel drive starts at 45,990, and the Rogue plug-in hybrid Platinum all-wheel drive starts at 49,990. And how does this compare to the Mitsubishi? Well, the Mitsubishi starts at 43,000, and then it goes up to 54,000. And they say the difference in the pricing has to do with standard features and things like that on the Nissan. The packaging is a little bit different. I don't think they're trying to pull the wool over anyone's eyes and say this is
no,
not the same vehicle. It's a bit
I
of
don't think
brand
so.
engineering.
Yeah, plus, you have a whole lot more access to Nissan dealers in the country than you do Mitsubishi dealers.
Right.
So there's a lot to be said for the differences and the differences in the way they look and the differences in the way they cost.
Yeah.
But you're right; they're not trying to hide the fact that it's a Mitsubishi.
No, but it is a great way also for Nissan to bulk up their lineup, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
they had nothing like this. My only thought would be maybe they should not have called it a Rogue. because obviously it is completely different than the Rogue that they have in there. That's powered by a three-cylinder engine, gas engine. So I don't know about that, but hey, it's a name that has some mileage. It's a good-looking vehicle, and yeah, I think they'll do pretty well with it. That's not a bad price when you think about this larger vehicle and one that can get up to 38 miles of all-electric driving on a full charge, up to 420 miles of range total, which is pretty good, right?
It is. It's excellent. It's excellent. And you realize, wise guy that I am, Fred, that if I owned one of these, I would call it the Mitsubishi. Because I would have to. I would just have to.
Yeah, yeah, interesting stuff and really neat. And I do think the interior is nicer. I like the pleated upholstery. I do like some of the upgrades, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. So, and I look forward to driving it actually. But we'll be up to date with that when we get a chance to get behind the wheel and tell you about it. The Nissan Rogue. What do you think? Was that a good idea to use the Rogue name on this, or maybe not? Who knows?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not terribly sure. Well, Fred, guess what? Subaru has started focusing on consumer affordability.
Yeah,
Boy,
affordability. Big word.
very important. An excellent value. They have up with updated gas and hybrid models, including the Forester Sport Onyx Edition.
Mm-hmm.
And to celebrate this, they their pricing on, say, the Forester Hybrid starts at 34,730. This is a hybrid.
Yeah, I believe that is $2,000 less than the past, which is
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
it is amazing, and it's about. I mean, it's easy to say it's about time, but the companies are realizing people's money is tight,
Yeah.
and we need to respond to this. We're all in it together. So, I mean, what can I say? The dog-friendly company is also people-friendly.
The other thing is there are one, two, three, four, five, six different trims on this vehicle, which is a nice development too. I'm seeing that from more manufacturers, more trims, more availability of different models. That's going to help with
Yeah, that
affordability
helps.
too. You look at this, the Subaru Forester Sport Hybrid, right? This is a well-equipped vehicle.
Hmm.
It adds even bronze finish, 19-inch aluminum alloy wheels, Harman Kardon speaker system with the equivalent of 576 watts and 11 speakers. Star
Okay.
Tex interior and reverse automatic braking. That starts at 37,930. That is a big vehicle hybrid drivetrain for a lot less money. And
It really is.
you know,
Um, it's a bargain.
yeah. So this is one to look at, and of course, Consumer Reports agrees. They always joke that they've never met a Subaru that they don't like, but hey,
That's right.
these are durable
And
vehicles, right?
and I will say that bronze color is pretty handsome.
Yeah, yeah, it's a handsome vehicle, and the fact that it's a hybrid, 581 miles of range on a single tank of fuel, which is pretty good, I would say. Pretty that will take you pretty far. Um,
That would and yes, and as one who has fairly regularly driven 500 to 600 miles in a single day, uh, it's really nice. It's fun to just keep driving, but you do have to stop and relax and
yeah, I mean, truck
stretch.
drivers typically, long haul drivers typically drive about 500 miles a day. So it's driving that will eventually not be as much fun.
Yes,
After
it's
about 2 to 3 hours, I have to say I have
you.
to.
You need to stretch,
Yeah,
just like sitting in a chair. You need to stretch.
exactly. Full range of pricing here. Let's tell them, as you said, the base model starts at twenty nine
Huge.
thousand nine ninety five and goes on up. I mean, the premium hybrid is 34,730, and then all the way at the top is the Forester Touring Hybrid, 41,545. Still not a bad price
Still,
for this type of
I think
vehicle.
a bit of a bargain.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So
good pricing. Good
good
pricing. It
pricing
makes it
and
easy for people.
good range. Exactly. Exactly. So, good news if you're looking at one of those vehicles, or maybe, you should think about taking a look at one of those. We were just talking about trucks, Les Jackson, and interesting situation going on in the trucking world, and it has to do with a lot of groups looking towards adding to the weight that large trucks can haul.
Yeah.
How it typically works is they have about 80,000 pounds of, hauling that is
Yeah.
allowed. If you go over that, you can permit for over that, but you have to pay more to do this. Now, there is a push by some to take the standard rating of 80,000 up to 90,000 pounds. They say, groups that are for this say that it will reduce the number of trucks, it will reduce diesel emissions, it will reduce traffic and congestion. But then others say, hey, more weight means more danger. You can haul that weight or more, but you have to permit it right now. So uh, it's an interesting fight between the shippers coalition and the coalition against bigger trucks. I mean, they won't be bigger; they'll just weigh more.
They'll be longer. Now, I happen, I'm not part of this uh, industry, but I happen to uh, be sort of on an overall advisory committee here in the Washington, D.C. area, the Council of Governments,
Okay.
Transportation. Here's the problem, and I'm about to say I'm against this. Um, the problem isn't the 90,000 pounds or the possible adding a third trailer onto these daisy chained trucks. The problem is the bridges and the roadways. You're putting tremendous loads on the roadways. The actual statistic from the um, Bureau of Public Roads um, is that one fully loaded, long haul truck, 80,000 pounds, does the same damage to the highway, to the road it's on, as 9,000 cars.
Wow. Wow.
It's that, I mean, it really is a measurable thing. So, no.
And many
I,
bridges already are not in great shape.
uh, 40% of our bridges are considered uh, borderline dangerous. We the problem with us in the United States is we don't put enough money into the roads. We only fix them,
And we use salt.
and we use salt. And what we can't do is make them wear out sooner. So I'm very much against this.
All right. Interesting thought. And what one of the things they were talking about doing is adding another axle, even keeping the truck the same and adding another axle, but it has to do with road wear. and that's why when you have a heavy load, you pay permits, and that
Yeah.
is to offset. But like many things, that money probably doesn't go into like, oh, we've got this
No,
extra money, so let's do some extra maintenance on that bridge and
that's
shore
right.
it up. So, um, interesting story. We'll have to see where it goes. But we do know where it goes when it comes to Mercedes, right? They have released a new model, a new version of a model, and it is an AMG GLC. This is the AMG GLC 53, and it's got a snarling straight six engine, from what I hear.
It sure does. Also, it's very sleek
Mm-hmm.
looking.
Yes.
Uh, they're making some really nice looking cars these days and small SUVs.
It's kind of got
Uh,
that coupe look, doesn't it?
yeah,
As they call it,
yeah,
the modern coupe look. This is 443 horsepower, 443 pound-foot of torque, straight
yeah.
six, with a turbocharger and an electric auxiliary compressor. I believe that is like a supercharger that comes in first, gets it going, and then the when the turbo spooled up, the turbo takes over. That's probably an
Yeah.
oversimplification of it, but
So I like to I like to look at that as you have turbocharging and supercharging. The basic engine is on simmer, and then it goes to boil
yeah,
uh,
yes, exactly.
right away.
Hey, from the turbo, it gets 21.8 pounds of boost.
Ooh,
That that's a lot.
that's 1.5 atmospheres.
Yeah, yeah,
That's an awful lot.
awful lot. And it's high revving engine too. I don't think we have the red line on this, but um, sounds pretty amazing. Of course, it is an AMG product, so that means one person builds that
Yeah,
engine. Also, it's got a TCT 9G transmission, the Speed Shift TCT 9G transmission, short shift times, double declutching function, and multiple downshifts, and a Sport Plus drive program. Sporty model. AMG has kind of learned their lesson. Don't put a turbocharged four-cylinder, but apparently a straight six turbocharged is okay. Um, Standard rear axle steering, AMG parameter steering, as well as the rear axle steering, which is becoming uh, much more prevalent, I think, in performance vehicles. Golden Accents package, which is exclusive for 2027. You get either obsidian black metallic or graphite gray mango paints, or magno, I should say. Magno, not mango.
yes.
Magno. Uh, yes, mango would be orange. And 21-inch AMG forged cross spoke wheels that are matte black with that accented tech gold rim flanges and center cap details. Um, and then since it's an AMG, you get a front fascia with larger front splitter in gloss black, larger AMG spoiler lip on the roof spoiler or trunk, and side airflow breakaway edges around the optical air outlets, and the diffuser blade in high gloss black. Good looking machine. I don't think we have pricing on this yet, do we?
I just got the price,
Oh, what do you have?
and it's a little surprising. It's 70 to 75,000.
Wow. Okay.
I honestly thought it would be more.
Yes. A lot of technology. It is
A
a
lot.
beautiful looking machine, and I'm sure people will love it. And I love how they call it that high revving straight six. But pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. So this next story is not as fun as a new AMG Mercedes. It has to do with more dealers selling used vehicles with salvaged car titles. So buyer beware here, right?
Buyer beware. This is just a very bad thing going on. I thought it was illegal to do this. Apparently not. But a salvage title is a salvage title. By federal law, a car gets a salvage title when it's been in a flood or a hurricane or a fire
Or accident, in some
or
cases, totaled.
been totaled in a crash. All of which are situations you don't want to buy it.
Yes, if you cannot buy that vehicle, unless it's something that, oh, it's a collector's item and I'll just take it, you should probably walk away. This article is according to Automotive News, and um, the point that they're making in this is it's kind of an industry change that since parts and pieces are so expensive for new cars, more new cars are being totaled when the damage is not that significant, but the price of the parts is to repair it. Now,
Yeah.
you look at a headlight assembly. I think a tail light assembly, which is something that could get easily destroyed on a F-150, is like $2,500. Uh,
Yes. I have a neighbor who just replaced both headlight assemblies. It was over $3,000.
yeah. So when you think
Yeah.
of a typical crash, that it gets your two headlights, it gets your grill, it gets maybe your radiator support
Yep.
and
Yep.
the fenders and the hood,
That's
that
it.
could total a vehicle. But it might not be that it's not repairable. But the big thing is they have to divulge this, right? They can't say, "Oh no, it's fine." I mean, and I venture a guess that the dealers are not discounting it that much either.
Well, if you have a salvage title and you have records of exactly why the thing has a salvage title, and which is okay, you should be able to get that. And if they're selling it for 20 cents on the dollar,
Right.
okay, it's worth the risk. But you got to know something about automobiles.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
if it's coming from the hurricane ravaged Carolinas or flood damage in Florida, forget it. It's going
Yeah.
to be nothing but trouble.
Not worth it. Yeah. Not worth it at all. If it is light damage, and that could be anything, but
Hmm.
it's been repaired professionally with the correct parts, which you may not know about. That's the problem. You may not know. Uh, the other thing is, too, it's diminished value. If you're buying a salvage title vehicle, it's never going to be worth,
No,
book value on these
no.
vehicles. Doesn't mean it's bad. I've had some salvage title, like I had some cars that I built out of multiple cars at junkyards,
Oh,
and
same
it had
here.
a salvage title, but it was basically a theft and recovery. Someone stripped parts off of it,
Sure,
and I
sure.
bought the car, and the guy said, "Whatever parts you need, you just take them." I think I had 8 cars, parts from 8 cars on there, all the same. They were all the same car, but
Right. They're all the same car. But that's different.
yeah, and I
You know,
knew
you
that.
and I,
So
yeah,
what? I mean,
you and I will build the car, but most people aren't going to build their car.
no,
They're going to trust the dealer selling them what seems to be uh, a good car or drives nice, but has a salvage title, and the dealer isn't really giving you a great price, and you're believing what he says. And I don't. I want to see documentation.
well, and it used to be dealers just like, hey, I don't want to deal with this. I just don't want to. I don't want to be involved with it because it's not going to end well, you know.
Right.
And most people, unlike you and me and our listeners, are not familiar with what a salvage title is or what it means or whatever. Um, you know, it could be great. It was repaired fine. You don't care. You're going to drive the car till the wheels fall off, and that's it. And you're getting a good price. Most dealers didn't want to bother with this in the past, but since prices are so high on used cars, availability of used cars is down. They
Hmm.
they're like, hey, maybe this is another option to offer people um, a deal. But the thing is, you have to divulge it. You can't, if you don't divulge it. I mean, selling a salvage title vehicle is fine as long as it says salvage title, it was flooded, it was repaired. Maybe you give them a extra guarantee or something, but then it's on you. You know that there's the
That's right.
possibility that you might have a problem down the line. But, you know, that's the key thing if they do that. If they do that, then it's up to them. If I was a car dealer, I wouldn't bother with it because it's only going to lead to heartache, you know. That's I mean, like there are guys I watch Scrap Life guy where he buys wrecked Corvettes and rebuilds them, but he's basically doing it for himself to have fun cars and that type of thing. But you know,
Yeah.
it's sure like if you could get a wrecked Corvette that was repairable for low money, yeah, maybe it'd be a fun car and you don't care about it. You know, you don't care that it has a salvage title. What do you think? Would you buy a car with a salvage title? Hopefully that it was divulged when you bought it. Um, or would you say, you know, it's not worth the trouble? I would say it's probably not worth the trouble if you don't know the whole story. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I, I wouldn't unless it was a particular car that's very rare and it's collectible and, 10 other reasons.
Yep.
Then I would because I'll put it together.
Well, let's go over to Tesla, see what's going on over there.
Hmm.
You know, we talked a couple of weeks ago on Cruise Control Motoring about them kind of gutting their lineup, getting rid of, you know, their Model S, which was their flagship. Um, you know, but now they're left with the Model 3 and the Model Y. That's going to be their lineup. There's some talk they might build the Roadster that they've been talking about for years. We don't know. Cybertruck, whatever's going on with that.
Yeah.
Remember, though, they came out with the Model Y standard. This was the heavily decontented Model Y, so much so that instead of it has a glass roof, but they put a headliner over it, so the glass roof is there, but you don't get to see the glass roof, which just seems odd. And why bother? Because you're adding more money to make it less options. I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
quite get that. Um, they've dropped that. Now they've reconfigured the Model Y lineup, and they are talking about having just a rear-wheel drive and an all-wheel drive model. They're dropping the standard, which was the decontented model,
Yeah.
uh, and kind of you know, just kind of reconfiguring their marketing on this, their packaging. It's kind of confusing. There will be the Model 3 rear drive, which offers 321 miles of range and has an MSRP of 36,990. There is no all-wheel drive base model, but you know, you and I thought decontenting it. They took away things like lane keeping. I told you about
Yeah.
the glass roof that's there but not there. I don't know. That's
Yeah. And I think well, maybe it was one of the other models. They got rid of heated seats.
but you and I talked about the semi truck and whether it was out or not. Actually, it has just finally entered production. It entered mass market production,
Hmm.
and the Semi will be available with a 325-mile standard range or a 500-mile long range, which would mean if it's a 500-mile long range, we're just talking about long haul drivers will do that in a day, so they'd have to charge it every day and have a charger located at a truck stop, or it's just like a fleet truck and they go from depot to depot where they have this stuff. Um, it finally came out. It's gotten a few revisions, but boy, this is a long time in coming, isn't it?
Well, um, now the thing about having a long haul truck is the battery takes up a lot of your gross weight. Um,
Right. Your capacity.
in fact, they say that the payload on an $82,000 or 82,000 pound uh, truck is going to be 62,000 pounds.
Wow.
Um, that's 20,000 pounds, which is not surprising because you're consuming, as they say, 1.7 kilowatts a mile.
Oh boy.
So, so you're charging well, upwards of a million kilo or 1,000 kilowatts, which is a million watts.
It's crazy. Uh,
Well,
but
I don't see the economics here. I really don't.
no, and believe it or not, these were unveiled in November of 2017, and just now they are going
Hmm.
into production. The pricing will be a lot higher than originally um, discussed. No surprise there. Ryder had several of these, 42 of them ordered. They're reducing their order significantly to, I believe, about 18. Um, I don't know. I don't know if this is a good idea because towing is not the strong point of electric vehicles, is it?
I I'm reserving my opinion. I'm not impressed with the idea, but I'm reserving. I'm willing to be open minded.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just don't think it's going to be a big moneymaker for them. Maybe they'll decontent it and offer a cheaper version. Comes with a bench, a stool, a bathroom stool as the
That's right.
driver's
Power
seat.
steering is extra.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll have to see what happens with that. It just, I don't know. But coming out, saying it's coming out, and then in 2017, and now it's just going into production in
Yeah,
2026 is kind
it's
of
a
a
bit of a lag.
that's like a whole generation. Believe it or not, it
Yeah,
should have a mid-cycle refresh at this point, but it's just
that's right.
it's just coming out. So, hey, let's take a look at a study that ranks cities with the most annoying drivers. And if you're like me, you will say, "Well, that must be that must be the city that I live in." Um,
Well, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, uh, so Miami ranks as the most irritating city for drivers, with 86% of its residents calling local motorists extremely annoying.
I've been there. I agree.
Okay. Phone use, failure to signal. By the way, I don't think anyone uses their turn signals anymore.
Hardly anybody.
Yeah. Uh, Tailgating and speeding are the most commonly observed behaviors fueling road rage. That's nationwide.
Yeah,
Um, and many drivers admit to the same bad habits they criticizing, revealing a clear gap between frustration and personal accountability. All right. So,
Mhm.
what do you think? Miami takes the crown for the most
Miami
annoying
takes the
driver.
crown. Uh, runners up, and this ain't the Olympics, folks. Um, Runners up, Philadelphia,
Hmm.
aggressive drivers,
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Well, I can't. The traffic moves so slow there. I can't imagine.
you get you get enraged just going slow. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. Um, but the things that get people upset are motorists using their phones while driving. That was observed by 81% of
Hmm.
respondents. Changing lanes without signaling, followed by tailgating. And then 70% reported witnessing excessive speeding on major roads. My pet peeve is them cutting in and out. That I never saw that before. Yeah, going fast, but they would go fast in the fast lane and blow past you. But cutting around back and forth and
That's
really
that's
dumb.
where it's That's reckless.
That's I think that might be worse, but
Yeah,
you can always tell someone on the phone because their speed starts dropping,
it
dropping,
does. It
dropping,
does.
dropping, and it's like, are you going to stop? Are you like
And
slowly
you
coming to a
notice
stop?
their head doesn't move. They're fixated on talking on the. It's very obvious.
I was behind a guy on the highway, and you could see his car. He was in the center lane, and it would start moving almost off the road, almost onto the shoulder, almost
Ooh,
off the shoulder, and then it
ooh.
would snap back and then do the same thing and snap back. And I thought, either this guy's got a really bad front end alignment problem or he's on his phone. And guess what? He was on his phone. I mean, I
Yep.
would have loved to have been in a police car at that point.
I
And
was early in the week. I was behind an elderly woman driving very slow. I won't. Doesn't matter what kind of car it was, in the right lane, coming dangerously close to the piled up snow,
yeah,
which had become rock hard ice.
sure.
And when the light changed, I was behind her because I was following down the same street. She just got closer and closer, and then she just started rubbing against the ice,
The
which
pile of
was
ice.
ripping the side of her car just horribly. Didn't hear it or notice it or
Wow.
whatever.
Wow.
And she made a turn ahead of me, not where I was going, and the whole side of her car was just chewed up by this ice. And I my gosh,
She didn't hear that? I mean, that would be like,
I, you,
holy smokes, what was that?
that's right. When she got home, it just had to be
How'd that
just
happen?
horrible.
She'll find it in the spring, when it thaws
Yeah.
out. It's like, what happened to my car? Someone must have
Wow.
hit me in the parking lot. Yeah, and true. I mean, I've been on lanes where all of a sudden there's no lane. There's just hard as a
Yep.
rock snow.
Yep.
It's like, wow, we lost half of this lane.
That's right. And don't hit that snow because it won't budge.
Yes, yes, for sure, for sure. So you and I have been talking about the fact that more people want buttons back in vehicles. They do not want a
Hmm.
whole touch screen that involves menus and pushing buttons and tactile buttons and things. They want actual buttons and knobs. And it's sort of a problem that the industry has gone that way to, hey, we can make just a big touch screen. Screens have gotten huge. And now people are pushing back. And there's a little pushback this week, and it comes from an interesting place. It is the designer of the new Lucy first electric vehicle of Ferrari, from Ferrari. Lucy means illumination in Italian. And the iPhone designer, Joni Ive, has been involved with the development of the interior of this Lucy. And he talked about how touchscreens are the wrong technology for cars because of the reasons we know. They're hard to use when you're traveling along in the highway. And he said the idea was the iPhone, they used it because it was designed to replace multiple things like calculators and your phone and a camera, and that's why they used it for the phone. But he says it is wrong to put these in cars. You need to be able to control things easily and intuitively. And if you look at his design for the Lucy interior, it is like a update of an analog interior. There are lots of knobs, switches, buttons, and the gauges actually are electronic, but they have an analog look. And there's easy things to flip, like toggle switches and that, and it just makes
Yep.
sense. Um, they wanted this. He said that when they developed the iPhone, they wanted it to be a general purpose interface that would be a calculator, a typewriter, a camera, but he would never use a touchscreen in a car. It even has an analog clock. Look at that.
You know, um, I have I have touch screens in my car, and okay, I use them, but I agree with them wholly. I don't think they really belong in a car.
Yeah,
It's a distraction,
yeah,
and you have to train yourself not to get distracted.
yes, and really physical buttons. I mean, I know why they do it because it's easy to use the same interior over and over again for something else.
Hmm.
It's easy to update it. Hey, we want to add this feature. Maybe, it's easy to do that, or we want to, hey, relocate the heated steering wheel button closer to the driver. We can do that. And as we always said, this type of thing, the electronics is what really dates a vehicle, so we could keep it fresh. But then there's the other problem, like, well, but you're going to be using that, and how can you make it easier for people to use? So I think he's done this, and it will be interesting to see when this comes out, though. A lot of people didn't know Lucy means illumination. So this will be the first electric vehicle from Ferrari. And just like what we were talking about, the Highlander, I'm sure this was in development long before kind of the shine on electric vehicles kind of faded a bit. But it will be certainly interesting. I love the look of the interior. My thought when I first saw these control panels was it looks sort of like high-end gaming steering wheels and
Hmm.
controls. Like if you're
Hmm.
gonna buy a simulator
Right,
and
right.
you want to build whoever's out there, if they built a simulator that looked like that, that would be pretty pretty cool to mount on your
That's cool.
stand. I would love that. But good looking. Hopefully, this thought comes up to other people that we really need to get back to the basics and have buttons and knobs. And, maybe it's something that's a configurable panel with actual physical controls, much like what I use, like Stream Deck or something like that, where you can configure it
Yeah,
to what you have. So, what do you think?
I like it. I mean, I think first of all they're right about saying that in general screens don't belong in cars,
Yeah,
and that if you do things cleverly, even if you're simulating buttons, that's a good thing.
yeah, yeah. And there's some good-looking instrumentation here. I'm sure many hot rodders, if they could get their hands on that instrument panel, and we're
Oh
building a
yes,
hot rod, that would
oh
be
yes.
quite nice. Quite nice to have. I wouldn't mind that in a street rod at all. That would be quite wonderful. Great looking interior. Um, drive mode knobs right on the steering wheel. It looks like the turn signals have an arrow left and right that you push down
Yeah,
there. It just makes sense. You know, it really does. It really, really makes sense. Right in front of you, old school, and good stuff. Good stuff.
That's right. It looks old school, new school.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, let's talk old school, new school, since you brought it up, Les Jackson. And it involves the Grand Tour. Of course, the Grand Tour grew out of the trio from Top Gear after the fracas, as they call it, and after they left BBC. But um, now they're getting a new crew of people, and it was announced by Jeremy Clarkson in a very funny way, where he went through a list of CVs or resumes, and he would just go through and say funny things. He's like, no, no, mustache, can't have him. Then he said, oh, here's a guy. Let's see. Hello, my name is James May. I would like to be on the show. He said, sounds boring.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
said, hello, I'm 5'4". Nope, too short. And he would say things like, oh, this guy says he once reviewed a new car with 100% sarcasm. He's like, good, sounds good, keep him. And then another one says he typically says his opinion and he states it as fact, and then will deny everything after that. He says, sounds
That's
good.
right.
And he would stamp him with approve. So uh, we got the new crew. It's interesting. It's a couple of guys from Throttle House, which is a big car review channel on
Right.
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah.
And then it has a guy that's a train spotter, right?
Train spotter.
Who likes looking at
Which,
trains.
okay.
Is that the
I
new James May?
I guess that's the new James May.
His name is Francis Bourgeois, known for his train spotting videos. Interesting, but I don't know. So, what do you think? Can this trio be replaced? Thomas Holland, James Engelsman, and our friend, the train spotter. Is it a good idea to bring in new people? It didn't work out on Top Gear, really. They tried a bunch of people.
It didn't work out on Top Gear, but on the other hand, the franchise is so valuable that you kind of have to try.
Yeah,
And maybe these guys will click. Maybe they'll be incredibly entertaining. Uh, I would love to see that happen because I'd love to see that show again.
well, if you go back to what Clarkson talked about, he worked with a couple of people. I forget who he worked with. What did he work? He didn't work with May, or he worked with Hammond. But either way, there were two people. You have to have three people because three people really won't completely get along
That's right.
as two
That's right.
people will. So Thomas Holland and James Engelsman have worked together on Throttle House, so they know each other. Uh, and Francis has not worked with either of them, so he's like the third oddball
Uh,
guy.
right. Right.
So they're trying to follow that format. I don't know. Is the Grand Tour team working on this version of the show, or they probably are? I bet they are. The producers and that, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if it will work. It's hard to get lightning in the bottle once again, but
It certainly is, but it can happen.
the big
So,
mistake they made at Top Gear was when they brought the new people in, they tried to redo the shows, the same stunts again.
exactly.
And it's
Exactly.
like, no, that's not going to work with different people. Like, or people are going to say, like, yeah, it worked well.
Has to be new stuff.
Matt LeBlanc was good.
He was very good.
I thought, wow, I thought he seemed like a good fit. Obviously, he's fine on camera and that. But then Chris Evans, remember him? He was like a big
He
radio
was
guy, and he
He's a great radio guy. He's a raconteur, a storyteller, but he's not. It just
he always looked uncomfortable, like, or something.
He
Like
did. Yeah.
it's like, why am I here? Where Matt looked like this was his thing. Like he looked like he was really enjoying it. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we'll have to see. Uh,
Maybe you and I should do this show.
there you go. Although I think they have these three guys already, so.
I think they do. But now you and I would be a good team because we would be funny. We constantly play tricks on one another.
Well, there you go.
W- and we would certainly drive.
Would we pass the Jeremy Clarkson test though of CVs?
Well, I don't
If you haven't
know.
seen that video, you have to watch it. It's very very
Yeah.
funny. It's very funny, and I think if I was relaunching the show with three different people, I would certainly want him to. And in the end, he says, "Get these three, bring these three in. Let's talk to them." And it was very 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 funny. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll have to give it a try and
We'll
watch
see.
it.
I'll
Yeah.
watch it. I'll
Yeah.
watch it. See what it's like.
All right. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this edition of Cruise Control Motoring. Don't forget to check us out on all our social media platforms and give us a like, a follow, a subscribe, a view, whatever you got. We appreciate it all. Time for
Mhm.
me to say I'm Fred Staab.
And I'm Les Jackson.
We are going to see you down the road.